there. Happy Training Tuesday. I'm Kim Irwin. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne International, and I am happy that you're with me. Do you think that there's any relationship with how healthy your gut is and whether or not you want to go exercise? There actually is. I just read a really fascinating article. This is from Medscape, that subscription that I have that goes out to medical professionals. And the University of Pennsylvania has done some studies, and they've been doing, follow-up studies and so forth over the past several years. But they wanted to find out what the relationship is between gut health and exercise motivation. So they've been looking at these little mice, these little lab mice that they have, and they were wondering, why do some of these mice love to run on their exercise wheel and most of them ignore it? So they're like, what's the deal? So they started doing some studies, and what they found was that the thriving gut microbiomes, where have you heard that about? Why is that so important? Your gut microbiome, gut health. They found that good, thriving microbiomes was linked with optimal muscle function. So these little mice would get on the wheel and run, and they'd feel really good about it. So that is a release of what's called dopamine. I know you guys have heard of that before. It's that feel-good hormone, okay? And your brain can release that, and you feel good, and there's that satisfaction with it. Well, what they did is they gave these little mice antibiotics. And believe me, I am not a proponent about doing studies on mice. I'm just conveying the information, okay? But they gave them antibiotics. Now, what does this bring us back to? Antibiotics, although necessary in many, many cases, and, very grateful that we do have this Western medicine, it wreaks havoc on your gut. In fact, what they did, as I was just saying, is they gave these little happy, thriving microbiome lab rats antibiotics, which in turn desecrated their healthy gut. Their running distance was cut in half. They could only run half the distance. Then when they took them off of the antibiotics, they regained their performance. So that tells you can ruin it, but you can fix it. Okay. And there's no better time to start fixing it than now. Okay. I always tell you that. So, what happened? The healthy biome impacted that motivation to move, so they could run farther. They had that dopamine release. They were feeling really good about things when they were exercising. So, what they did, let's see, they went in, they wanted to figure out, okay, so what does this mean? What is happening here? What they found is that they had less dopamine after they had antibiotics. Okay, so what's that relationship? I want to read to you verbatim the quote that this gentleman, Christoph Theis, I think he's a PhD and microbiologist at the University of Pennsylvania. This is exactly what he said, quote, "Only after we started focusing on the brain did we understand that the microbiome's effect on exercise capacity was mediated by the central and peripheral nervous systems." Microbiome brain connection. Okay, that's my added at the end. He said this completely changed the trajectory of their project. So they got really, really excited because they realized there truly is this connection between a healthy gut and what your brain is releasing as far as chemicals and things like that. So what they then did is they went into the colon. It gets really, really deep, but I'm trying to make it a little bit more surface for us. They went into the colon and they found these receptors that controlled the breakdown of dopamine. So these receptors would, these things in the receptors in the colon would clear dopamine. Okay, so what are we saying? Dopamine is a feel-good. These receptors are going in that are in the colon, and they are releasing something that is clearing dopamine, meaning you're not going to feel good. That feel good hormone is being removed, which we don't want that, obviously, right? So what did they find? This is what's really cool that's coming out of all of this study and research and so forth. They are looking at nutritional interventions, what we eat, okay, or supplement, that will tell people what to eat, okay? What should we be taking in that's gonna make us feel like going for a 5-mile run? There are just some people that they just don't want to exercise. Like that's keep it away. But what if you could eat certain things that created certain bacteria in your gut that told your brain to release dopamine instead of clearing it? Isn't that amazing? That's like fascinating. So anyway, I thought that was incredible. And they finished it with this, that the brain impacts on exercise motivation, the impacts from the brain on exercise motivation could create now and is creating a whole new branch of exercise physiology. Like, isn't that amazing, guys? Think about this. You hear everybody talking about the gut-brain connection and your gut is your second brain and blah, blah, blah. It's true. So what do you do with this information? Well, until this gentleman, Christoph, can figure out what exactly needs to be the nutritional intervention, what we eat to make this happen, you just focus on getting a really good, healthy gut. Your gut microbiome is such an important area. So I go back time and time again, not just because, I have an Arbonne business, but because I truly believe in it, sincerely believe in it. Your gut needs to be healthy. And when it's healthy, so many good things follow. So our gut health, Arbonne's gut health, prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, they're incredible for your microbiome. Okay, so our gut health, you want to definitely be doing that. You want to be thinking about the things that you're taking in to your system. My husband said to me the other day, people don't eat for fuel and energy. They eat because they just want to, and they eat crap, and that's just how he is. And honestly, for a lot of people, that's true. But there are extremes. What we want to find is that happy middle way, that middle ground where you're doing healthy things, but you're still enjoying life. We only come around here once. So enjoy the ride, eat good food, keep your gut healthy, and your brain in turn will help feed dopamine for you. Okay? So there you go. I hope this was helpful. Know that if you keep a good, healthy gut, you may be more inclined to exercise, which in turn is going to make you even healthier. So hope you have a fantastic week. Thank you for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.